have the confidence. Here we go. Pandora versus airsurfer. We are in round 3. Both of them undefeated on the day. Pandora top of your screen, airsurfer at the bottom. And Morhog EQ, different version of it here. Pandora was able to 2-0 Ender and 2-0 sweep. While you look at airsurfer's run today, airsurfer was able to 2-1 Hugo in round 1, and then we just saw that 2-1 over Morton in round number 2.
Valk on top of the Goblin Drill, not going to be able to walk away from the tower in time. Bomber is going to get a bomb shot off. And again, we are going to see the Valk Hog. Valk will be able to take the aggro of the Inferno Tower. Ice Spirit in following it. But I was wondering about the Ice Spirit right there. It felt like I knew that he had Fire Spirit in hand, so it really wasn't going to get the value he needed. But that's okay. It just walks across the bridge, and it's not going to matter.
So Drill comes down. Valkyrie gets stopped with those last-second skellies. Nice placement there, but Goblin's still on the tower, down to 1836. And airsurfer already finding himself in a hole early on here in game number 1. AC, with this matchup, going down early is definitely not where you want to be. Is there a way for airsurfer to crawl out of this hole, or does he need Pandora to make a big mistake?
Yeah, this is going to be really tough. I like the bomb tower right there. You know, you just need kind of a defense to go right. And right there, wow. Speaking of defenses going right, defense goes wrong. But it's going to be extremely difficult. I like that he's switching this up. He's not trying to go with Valk Hog Rider. He's now going in with Valk Archer Queen. And I think that's definitely, you know, one of those differences that we're seeing nowadays than, you know, previous years. It would have been, you know, continue the same path that hasn't worked. And now it's, okay, one thing isn't working for me. How do I switch this up? How do I attempt something different that has a shot of actually working this time?
Yeah, a little innovation on the side of airsurfer's offense with that Archer Queen on the last push. Now goes back to Hog Rider, knowing he needs to get some damage on tower with only 100 seconds remaining here in overtime. 1848 to 1434. And those guards are going to put in great work against that Archer Queen every single time. There's really nowhere else that Pandora has to use those guards.
And right there, Archer Queen does get the final shot off. We are going to see the Inferno Tower come down. And I thought for a split second that the Hog was going to make its way to the tower. Only 200 HP separating the two players. But this is the difference in the game now. Before, the Archer Queen was not utilized properly, whether it be because of double elixir or just a mistake in general. Right here, he is now using the Archer Queen beautifully.
I could not agree with you more. I love what airsurfer's doing. You can see it. You can literally watch the trajectory of the game, and you can see that Pandora is playing more uncomfortable. You see wall breakers coming out defensively. You see drills coming out defensively. You see this kind of lack of offense coming in, and airsurfer getting more confident with his earthquake cycles. So bomb tower in. A fireball is going to come down on top. Right there, airsurfer ready to go, locked and loaded with the Valkyrie and the skellies to worry about that pushback, and he is making a case for himself right now.
We do see the Earthquake Cycle not going to go in with the Hog. We are going to see, again, another Fireball. Will the Fireball get the value it needs to? The Skeletons do protect the tower just in time. 801 to 763. Tower damage from the log will put airsurfer back in the lead.
Second Valkyrie comes down. Hog Rider behind. There's no way an Inferno is in, so a drill has to come down. Great timing there on the log. Guards are in as well. Pandora spending an arm and a leg. Now a naked Fireball comes in. Airsurfer looks like he's going to be able to turn this one around, and just as quickly as I asked you how he's going to do it, AC, he started changing up his offense. That was an incredible final minute and a half from the American.
Yeah, I mean, it is so cool to see just what level both of these players are on. I mean, Pandora didn't make any mistakes. There was never an Inferno Tower that was misplaced. When he didn't have the Inferno Tower, he played the drill, so he never overextended with his offensive attacks. And it just comes down to who makes the most adjustments, who makes the better adjustment, and right there, it's as plain as day. Archer Queen Bridge is how you win that matchup.
Yeah, great stuff there. Great adjustment. Looks like Pandora is playing for the first time today. Going to go to Hog Rider as I look at his battle log here. Been leaning on a bunch of other archetypes. He's been varying it up quite a bit. We see some MK Royal Hogs mirror, so it's basically that kind of Royal Hogs mirror Mother Witch deck, but he has MK and P.E.K.K.A. in there, so interesting. He's played some Royal Giants, some Lava, some Bait. He's been all over the board. And right now he's going to go to Hog Rider with Bomb Tower and Snowball. Air Surfer, bottom of your screen, we know what this is.
I wasn't like fully paying attention to the bottom side. I was just looking at the damage, so that certainly made me chuckle right there. Earthquake on top of one of the Zappies, already deciding to go to the right tower, not even going to worry about the left tower damage. And that's what you can do with these kind of hog decks. You're not really worried about that split lane pressure. You're just trying to go all in into one lane, and just how aggressive can you get without overextending too much.
So Giant Skeleton's going to meet on Pandora's side. No, right here at the river. So no Princess Towers helping out on damage. A little bit of a stop and stare here. We're going to see one Hoggy come up. But Musketeer will be more than enough to deal with it. 23-66 to 25-72.
Fisherman will be able to yank properly. Ghost will not stay alive, but right there, Fisherman able to yank properly once again, understanding its requirements as a card. And a great situation for Airsurfer, but Pandora not far behind. Just 50 HP separating the two players.
Yeah, I mean, is there a moment here in this matchup, AC, where you start to see it lean towards Airsurfer's favor just because that deck is so much heavier? Or is it the cycle of Pandora's deck going to be able to keep up with it because of that Giant Skeleton to kind of reset?
Yeah, I mean, if we see one mistake with one of these bomb towers and then he can get free reign, it's obviously going to go heavily for Airsurfer right here. That, you know, you could chalk that up as almost a mistake, but because of how quick he cycles, because of the Snowball, plus the Skellies, plus the Ice Spirit, it really doesn't matter. Pandora able to get a ton of damage. Musketeer on this, on the bridge, not even going to cross. Yeah. And Airsurfer is just in a world of hurt right now.
And that's two Hog Riders in a row that have gotten a hit, all the way down to 1294, a game that was just basically even, now an arm's length away. 1294 to 2366. I'd say an arm's length and a half, actually.
Yeah. Right there, I again, you know, you have to give credit to Airsurfer for electing to go in with the Giant Skeleton, or using the mirror for the Giant Skeleton, not trying to use it for a different card, just trying to switch it up. He's not going to be able to win if he keeps playing the same way. But, I mean, Pandora's just playing this too well. We see, again, a beautiful Skeleton's placement, going to stop the Ghost from even getting to the tower.
And we're going to see another Piggy come down, but Giant Skeleton not taking for it yet. Snowball comes in. Giant Skeleton will not make it to tower. Mother Witch, though, is finally there to give Airsurfer a little bit of help. 1914 to 1132. 80 seconds remain.
Fisherman able to yank the Musketeer. Mother Witch not going to get the value he needs, but the Fisherman will allow for the Crown Tower to help. Now the question is, does he want to use the Skellies?
Nice arrows.
And he does. A brilliant arrows right there from Airsurfer. Only going to get 2 shots from the Ghost because of the Bomb Tower plus the Snowball. So, I mean, Pandora not panicking. And right there, Airsurfer's making the right plays, but Pandora is doing the same.
Yeah, he's just so far ahead that that little bit of hit from that Royal Ghost is just not going to make much of a difference. 970 now to 1914. Airsurfer has split a very little bit of damage, while Pandora has focused solely on one tower for the entirety of this 4.5 minutes. Is there any way for Airsurfer to turn this around? No. Skellies distract the Fisherman. Giant Skelly on the left tower. Earthquake on the right. Airsurfer not going to be able to pick up this full-on sweep. We're going to game number 3 unless some miracle happens in this final 15.
Yeah, a miracle certainly was attempted. Not going to happen, though. The Snowball will come out, be able to take out the remainder of the tower. I mean, a great attempt, a last-ditch effort right there. But Pandora wasn't worried. He was able to get the bomb tower in time. And actually, it was only due to kind of an unlucky interaction. I'm pretty sure that the bomb expired like 0.02 seconds too late, and it made him misclick his bomb tower, put it all the way into the right lane. Just kind of a funny interaction because it didn't hurt him. It could have been a lot more serious.
Here we go. Game number 3. Whoever wins this is going to World Finals. That's right. That quickly we have the first person to qualify, and it looks like we're going to do it in the skies. Will it be Pandora? Will it be Airsurfer, Japan, or the U.S.? Here we go. We have our 7th World Finalist in just about 4.5 minutes.
Pandora will elect to use the Mighty Miner version. I'm not sure if the Tombstone version will also use it. And there we go. We do see it. Whenever you have the opportunity to use it, you should be using it. And I agree with both of these players. Mighty Miner used from both.
Humble Keith has qualified for World Finals after a 2-0 victory over Vitor. And Yuya has been eliminated on the day. Just a quick update for you guys who aren't following along in your tournament hub. Some big stuff there. We have our 7th competitor going to Helsinki and Humble Keith. Let's see if it can be Pandora airsurfer next. Minute 45 remains in regulation.
Both players at 10 elixir. Both players leaking with 135. They both have their lava set up. It's just whether or not you want to go into it. Pandora electing to go the defensive route. airsurfer electing to go the aggressive route.
Yeah, lava in the back in the right-hand lane towards the weaker tower. 28-91 on opposite corners here as Skeleton Dragons come down to defend.
And so this matchup is certainly going to be, how do you use your Inferno Dragon? How do you use your flying machines? And right there, Pandora is going to be using a mirror version. The Fireball will come out, able to take out the mirrored Skeleton Dragons, but now it's going to allow for the flying machine to go free reign on top of all the pups, but the Inferno Dragon will just single-handedly almost take out the flying machine.
Yeah, that is not the greatest use of the flying machine there. You can see airsurfer up by a little bit of elixir with those Skeleton Dragons on the board, so he opts to stay aggressive. I like it, controlling the pace here of the game. We get that miner to pull those Skeleton Dragons away. Nice interaction there by Pandora as he turns up the pressure on the left-hand lane with that Mighty Miner at the bridge. Now Flying Machine comes down defensively. Should be a fireball. There's the fireball from airsurfer. Great arrows.
Yeah, and he's not going to go in with the double arrows. The zap will allow for the Inferno Dragon to get a lot of damage onto the tower. 564. Now the question is, what is airsurfer's last card? It has to be the Loon at this point, you would think. And right there, the cage is actually not going to pull.
Oh my goodness, that is a huge mistake in a World Finals match here. Fireball going to come in. That should be enough with the pups. No, there it is. Arrows come down just in time, but now airsurfer, all he needs to do, one more cycle around to get to World Finals.
Complete domination throughout this match. We see the Mighty Miner cycle to the left side just in case he wanted to make an all-out rush on the left side because of the tombstones. Not going to happen. Just one card away. Now, and the fireball comes down.
AC, how does it feel? Your boy, he's going to do it. He said, see you in Helsinki. He meant it. Airsurfer will be there.
You know, he made me stress out. He won all his matches 2-1. Just